The ladder of this world is we and I-ness. The ladder of this world isn't drinking handmade drink and chasing girls and that stuff sending you to hell. Those things don't send anyone to hell. The ladder of this world is we and I-ness. It's ego. You think you're a rabbi? You think you're a priest? You think you're a big shot? You think you understand so much. The ladder of this world is we and I-ness. The punishment for this ladder isn't falling. Inevitably, whoever thinks they are more of a rabbi, more of a pope, more of an akhund, inevitably whoever sits higher up, their bones will break more severely. His motherfucker is up in the air if he thinks he can meddle in the affairs of the perfect human and thinks he's speaking on behalf of God. He's destroyed. Welcome to 35, my friend. Welcome to 35. Restart is the most dangerous program in the history of Iran over the last 700 years. Let's become like the Simurg, open our wings and go to the city of lovers. Let's unite the hearts, clean their rust, and revive what is precious. Under the roof of life, though we fight with each other, we are companions on the path. In the end, we are of one color under the roof of life, though we fight with each other. Yes, more than 7, 8, 9 million. We've collected the evidence in the past 9 days. Our videos just on Instagram, no, forget Telegram, forget the radio. I promoted all of them, and this shows that you are all just waiting for the staff of Moses to become a dragon. We still haven't understood what the staff of Moses becomes a dragon means. It means the staff is wood, then suddenly it becomes a dragon. It means an internet radio in some corner in one of their villages comes and destroys the billions of dollars spent by several large networks that have many others involved. This is the staff of Moses, that you turn into a dragon, and thank you all. I wanted to say thanks for this week. Since it is the Muharram of the Muslims, first, I offer my condolences to them, to the approximately 34,000 people who generally understand Muharram. We should offer condolences to those 34,000 because we don't really have Shia, but we offer our condolences anyway. And for the first 3 or 4 minutes of each program, we will present a topic with a sentence and a perspective on that sentence. Sufism has blocked the way for all religions and all people who have come over these past few thousand years, meaning tomorrow if you die, you can't say you're going to the other world and they won't ask you any specific questions. The very first thing they ask you, if you're a Sunni, these 900 million Sunnis, the first question is this: Sir, have you heard Kafa from Hanzala, the 5 conditions and 6 conditions? And he says yes. There is no Sunni who hasn't heard it. They say, well, based on the fact you heard this, we're going to screw you. And the Shia gentlemen, these 200 million, yes sir, have you heard Kul Yawm Ashura? Yes, yes, we've heard it and we're sick of hearing it. Well, it's over then, you're destroyed. The sentences throughout these 5,000 years of history. Have you heard Zoroaster's sentence? Yes, we've heard it. Have you heard that sentence from Christ? Yes, meaning Sufism has placed sentences within religions that have, in a sense, blocked the path for every person on planet Earth. If you think that by cursing Nietzsche, the word Übermensch in Nietzsche gets resolved, it doesn't get resolved, and the whole family has blocked the way. Kul Yawm Ashura wa kullu ardi Karbala. You go to the other side and they call you Mr. Hosseini. Where is the other side? The other world. Where is the other world? The same questions can be asked of a baby in its mother's womb who asks me, Mr. Hosseini? I say, yes. Sir, where is that other world? I say, there is no other world, you idiot. It's this same world. He says, no way, Mr. Hosseini. I'm in a 1x2 space. Which other world am I supposed to come to? They say, man, you're in your mom's belly. Your mom is 9 months pregnant. You people of planet Earth, man, don't think wrong. The interpretation of the other world is a big topic itself. Meaning the other world is right here in this world, and you just don't pay attention to it. Why were you in your mother's womb for 9 months, not knowing that this world, that other world, is this very world? Why didn't you know? Didn't others know? Your dad, your mom had gone and bought you those little hat and outfit sets, those clothes for bald babies. If you were a girl, they'd bought you dolls, prepared your crib. The other world is already right now, but because the akhund and the rabbi and the priest have been shoved down society's throat, you are thinking about some other world. Because you haven't opened the eye of your heart to see the soul, to see what is unseen, you will see it. You think the other world is somewhere else. No, my dear, the other world is this world, but you don't see it, you don't see it well. Then this little one in its mom's belly, they say, he says, how old am I, Mr. Hosseini? They say 29 million years old. The left of your pair is 29 million years old. He laughs and says, "Sir, don't try to be a clever sheikh. How is that possible?" They say, "Every cell of you is from 29 million years ago on planet Earth. All your cells have been gathered from 5 or 6 million years ago and placed in different parts of your body. None of your cells came from Mars." It's saying exactly that every day of yours is Ashura. They go to the other world and ask, "Have you heard Kal Yawmin Ashura?" He says, "Yes." They say, "Okay, explain it." He says, "It means all days are Ashura." They say, "Falade, well, bravo." What else did it say? Kal Ardin Karbala. They say, "Okay, excellent. Now what did you understand from this?" "I understood that we must be lovers of Hussein." I'll recite something that will blow you to pieces. You should be a lover of Hussein? Fine. If you know this Hussein of yours, on which part of his back, on the right side, did he have a mole or not? "I don't know, Mr. Husseini." But you don't know. You don't know anything. The whole of Muharram isn't about going thump, 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 sweetheart. With that thump, you're screwed. Why? Because this thumping doesn't teach you anything. You don't understand anything. These Shia and Sunni Akhuns have nothing. What do they have to tell you? They have nothing. The only way for you to think is this restart. This is where true religion is too. Your Jesus is in here. Kul Yawmin Ashura means right now, as I'm broadcasting this program, your day is over. Whatever crap you did at night. Mr. Hosseini, we went thumping. Muharram has started. Yesterday, on the 1st of Muharram, thump thump, Hussein hugs, and then the more fanatical ones added a couple of slashes with a blade. No, it's very clear. On Saturday it says all Shias who consider themselves Shia are destroyed. Kul Yawmin Ashura means today you became subject to a restart. Yes, your Ashura is finished. Why? Because when you sleep at night, your death arrives. But because you wake up in the morning, you don't realize you died. What does death mean? Death means dying. Sleep is death. It means you die. Tonight, when this program is over, in half an hour, 2 hours, you will die. And peace be upon you, you're finished. You are dead. And you don't want to understand this death. Kul Yawmin Ashura means from the moment you wake up in the morning, your Ashura begins until you go to sleep at night. If you saw an oppressor and did not rise up, you have no Ashura. Don't be upset at all, because tonight when you sleep, about 6,000 people won't wake up tomorrow morning. They'll die. All 6,000 in Iran. Sister Mother, tomorrow morning, the Ashura of 7 billion people begins again until night. And do they hear the voice of Christ saying, "Is there anyone to help me?" And this has nothing to do with Hussein ibn Ali Gorgeous. This is for Christ. This is for Zoroaster, man. Go back to the time when they were about to board Noah's Ark. In our view, it's a huge ship. He made it and put them in it. That Noah first said, "Is there anyone to help me?" So Muharram means that right now, after you did your thumping, you picked up a girl for the night. You're now drinking moonshine, or you're sitting with that guy talking nonsense until 6 a.m. You need to understand this program. Today, your Ashura ended with this program. Every second you are sleeping is called the end of your Ashura. And did you find the perfect human or not? This is the meaning of Kulu Yawmin Ashura. What does Kulu Ardin Karbala mean? It means it doesn't matter if you're in Japan or in Italy. It doesn't matter where you are, where in the world you are sitting and listening to or watching the program. Kulu Ardin Karbala. You can't make the excuse, "I was in Germany, what would I have understood about the perfect human?" It says, "Didn't you read Nietzsche, you idiot?" Why? Why didn't I say the Übermensch is the perfect human? Why? Why didn't I understand? We have no problem. So the whole of Muharram is in this one line, Kulu Yawmin Ashura wa Kulu Ardin Karbala. A perfect human has always existed throughout history. Thus, in every era, a saint guardian is standing. A perfect human, a peer, a prophet, a wali, a mahdi, a kutba, a hadi, an imam of the time. Each time he is crying out, "Is there anyone to help me?" And you idiot, your Ashura ends and you flop down and die. I explained it in the poem at the beginning. Heaven and hell are not about drinking moonshine. You've read it in your own Quran, man. I have nothing to do with it. They even describe moonshine in there, sweetheart. It's not about chasing girls. Chasing girls doesn't send anyone to hell. Drinking moonshine doesn't. Why? Because if people were supposed to go to hell for drinking moonshine, they wouldn't be serving it in the other world. They give it to you in rivers there, man. So what sends a person to hell? Good deeds. The good deeds that I want to talk about today concerning the valley of Gnosis. good deeds screw a person over. The ladder of this world is we and I-ness. It's ego. You think you're someone. You think you can help another person. You think you can save someone else. You think that out of these 50, 60, 200, 500 people gathered in the church, when you're speaking, maybe one person's heart will break. They'll cry for Hussein ibn Ali during your gathering, and they will be saved. A few teardrops will fall from their nose. They will collect it and go to the other side and be saved. You think by reading petitions and sweeping for 40 days and nights, waking up early in the morning or late at night and sweeping, you'll find the Imam of the time. So the ladder of this world, what does Rumi say? It is we and I-ness, meaning there is a ladder that 6.5 billion people have no problem with. Rumi, these 300 million, 200 million rabbis and priests and mobads and magi and all that, they think they understand something. Without the permission of the perfect human, without the permission of Allah, they declare themselves international ambassadors of the world. He goes up 2 steps higher, meaning the pulpit. It means you go higher. Some of the old akuns wouldn't sit high on the pulpit. They would say, the step we want to climb, we must have first passed the first step. Some had 7 steps. First you had to pass the valley of the quest. Then when you entered the valley of love, they'd say, okay, sit 2 steps higher. The fact that you sit up high, you go up and speak, means you don't understand any of the valleys. Just like we explained the valley of love and we understood nothing. So the ladder of this world is ego. We think we understand something. We will explain the valley of the quest of Gnosis. After that will appear before your sight a valley of Gnosis without head or foot. Each person's journey is to their own perfection. Each person's closeness is according to their own state. Right after these 2 couplets, one is reminded of the movie, The Lizard, where Halaj says, the paths to God are as numerous as the souls of humankind. But the film is censored at this very point. That's why when I say The Matrix, I couldn't say Marmolak. 2 of its lines are good. No, I've never watched it. Even the movie Marmolak is a good film because it censors the very part it needs to make you understand. Right there at the very moment it needs to shove this mystical concept down the throat of an akhund to make society ahund-ridden, it fails to do that in the film. Each person's journey is to their own perfection. Each person's closeness is according to their own state. The paths to God are as numerous as the souls of humankind in the valley of Gnosis, not before the valley of the quest. Meaning, when you have found the perfect human, the paths to God are as numerous as the souls of humankind, you idiot. Not that there are 7 billion paths to God right now. Number here, it says, each person's journey is to their own perfection. Each person's closeness is according to their own state. From here, Gnosis became differentiated. This one found the altar and that one found the idol. It says, when you enter the valley of Gnosis, the paths to God are as numerous as the souls of humankind. One person is sitting there taking a sheep as their imaginary god, its meat, its head and feet, saying, I die for your eyes, I die for your nose, I die for this hair of yours. Which is the same story of Moses and the shepherd that Rumi is telling in this very valley, meaning in the valley of Gnosis, that one reached God through Sufi means, and another person reached someone named God. Make the shepherd an exception, because this shepherd isn't like these 7 billion who are stuck behind the door of Gnosis. This valley of Gnosis, he has passed the valley of the quest, past love, and rediscovered God in the valley of Gnosis. It's the same with Sheikh Karakani and Sultan Mahmud Ghaznavi. He says, you destroyed all the idol temples, I'm your servant, my love, but that one particular idol temple, you remember, in that alley you destroyed? Yeah, you're screwed for that. The owner of that temple had moved beyond Buddhism. We're going to screw you. With whose permission did you attack and bring the gold of India here, for which the people of Iran must now pay penance for 40 years, constantly giving oil to India? Why did you screw over the motherfucker of the Iranian nation so that it's now screwed? The girl says, "Oh Zara," and they cut her head off. Yeah, you did it, sweetheart. Every suffering we endure in this unaccountable world is for the ingratitude we showed in the garden. You, Yazid, you take the gold of the Indians. You act all cocky. You call the people of India idol worshippers, just so you can devour their money. And then you also say, "Come on, let's become defenders of the shrine in India. Let's go save them. The future will screw you over." From here, Gnosis became differentiated. This one found the altar, and that one found the idol. When the sun of Gnosis shines from the sphere of this high station path, each one sees according to their own capacity, and in truth rediscovers their own high place. You've passed the valley, you've passed 1 and 2, now you've entered the valley of Gnosis. The game begins, the lottery begins, the Atari begins, the PlayStation begins, the Xbox begins. You enter the game. Everyone understands the perfect human in their own way. Allah means Aleph Allah, and Gnosis means the idol that is Allah. In this valley, it's all in this valley. Then your situation changes. Okay, let's see what else is going on in this valley. In here, let's see in the valley of Gnosis. After that will appear before your sight a valley of Gnosis without head or foot. There was no one who from this place would become different because of the multiplicity of paths. He says there are many paths here. No path herein is like another. The wayfarer of the body and the wayfarer of the soul are different. Again, the soul and body from imperfection and perfection are constantly in ascent and decline. Inevitably, many paths that appeared, each one appeared according to its own limit. Each person's journey is to their own perfection. Each person's closeness is according to their own state. If a mosquito flies as far as it can, it reaches the perfection of a dung beetle. Inevitably, since the journey fell differently, no two arrows will ever fly the same way. Here it explains this valley beautifully, and to open up the topic for you, in the valley of Gnosis, the Honorable Mr. Attar tells a story, the tale of a lover who was asleep. I'll read it for you. He says, "A lover, distraught from the excess of love, was sleeping sorrowfully upon the dust," meaning he had gone to see his beloved and was sleeping sorrowfully. Christian gentlemen, ladies, Christian gentlemen of any race listening to the program, and it has gained so many fans among Christians. Listen, this is very important, because you need to understand where Jesus is. These are things that are slowly being revealed in Restart, so that we understand, you and I understand that, sir, we must find this perfect human. 1. 2, we must see what Jesus says, where Jesus is. We have to understand these things. He says a lover from an excess of love, from crying, screaming. He doesn't say a perverted lover. He says a lover distraught from the excess of love was sleeping sorrowfully upon the dust. His beloved came to his pillow, saw him asleep, and gone from himself again. She quickly wrote a note fitting for him and tied it to the sleeve of her lover. When the lover woke from his sleep, he read the note and his eyes wept blood. This was written, "O silent man, arise. If you are a merchant, be vigilant. And if you are a man of piety, be a night vigilant, serve until day, and be a servant. And if you are a man of love, have some shame. What has sleep to do with the eye of a lover?" Attar, in this story, officially states the reason for Jesus' death. No rabbi killed Jesus. He reveals a secret that blows everything up, and we said, someone named Mosen used to say, "Sir, this 2 legs in the air phrase you use, it's not a bad thing." I said, "Oh no, gorgeous, I'm explaining this mystical journey. 2 legs in the air." A wayfarer is someone whose 2 legs are walking on the ground in a valley, meaning he wants to understand something, meaning he walks on foot. Now, some wear out their shoes and many other things. Right now, 6 billion and some people of the world have their 2 legs in the air. Why? Because they aren't even on a path to have 2 legs on the ground to walk. They really do have 2 legs in the air. So it's not really a bad phrase. It has a very mystical message. So, Either you have found the perfect human and your two legs are on the ground, or you haven't, and you are in the valley of the quest, the first valley, where your two legs are in the air, meaning you understand nothing. So it's not really, it has a very mystical message. And if you're a man of love, have some shame. What has sleep to do with the eye of a lover? Attar declares that the main killers of Jesus were the disciples of Jesus. Attar declares that no rabbi killed Jesus, while on the surface the rabbis killed Jesus, meaning the ladder of this world is we and I-ness. They thought they were a big shot. The main killers are the disciples. Because the gospel officially states that on the last night when Jesus is about to leave, he turns to his disciples, to his Shia, the Imam of the time, the Mahdi, the Hadi, the peer, your subject matter, the messenger, the prophet, the successor, the guardian, and he declares to his Shia, to his disciples, he says, "Beauties, I'm leaving, don't sleep, stay awake." And the gospel indicates that when Jesus returns, they are all asleep. This is telling that exact story, meaning in the valley of Gnosis, the disciples screw up. What does disciple mean? It means Sufi. What does disciple mean? It means great people. Disciple means someone who has passed the valleys. It means Rumi, in the face of the perfect human, screws up here. It's a deep message, right in this valley. And Jesus returns and sees everyone is asleep. And it is because of this, because they were asleep, that they crucify Jesus. And if they had been awake, a lover who is waiting for his beloved, sleep does not come to his eyes. And if they had been awake, no one would have dared to hang him on the gallows or the cross, because when you are awake, the magnetic field of each of these Sufis is so strong, it doesn't allow anyone to enter. A man of love must traverse the day, and traverse the whole night in the moonlight with burning. Since you are neither this nor that, O lackluster one, don't make false claims of love for us. We just say we're in love for no reason. This is about, O lover, since you came into love out of ignorance, may your sleep be sweet, for you are unworthy. Right in this valley, he is opening up a very deep topic for your presence that he expresses from the valley of Gnosis. They fell asleep right here. Okay, Mr. Hosseini, you talked about Jesus, now tell us about Moses. One day Moses, right in the valley of the quest, thought he had become someone. I've told this story once, but I'll tell it now so you pay close attention. He thought he had really become someone. If I say it now, you'll get it. He said, "Oh God, is there anyone higher than us?" They say not even a billionth of a second passed. Right there, Gabriel came and said, "Man, you think too highly of yourself?" These Akans thought the same way. They had read the city-sized book of Bihar al-Anwar. They had seen a couple of things. They think they're a big deal. No, man, it's not in the books. Love is something that comes, man, not something that's learned. He said, "What should I do?" I made a mistake. And he said, "No, it's okay. It was just a thought in your heart. You didn't say it. Because God's love is beautiful, man. No, this part isn't. It's nothing. He won't bother you. Don't worry." But God says if you had been drinking moonshine, it would have been much better than the words you just uttered. God got upset. He said, "Now what must we do?" The perfect human commanded that you go and see one of our Sufis. He said, "Who is this Sufi?" He said, "Shams, man. Go, you'll see him." He said, "Where do I have to go?" He said, "Go straight, you'll reach a valley named the Valley of Love, leading to the Valley of Gnosis." He said, "What's the sign?" He said, "In this valley the dead come back to life." Holy shit. He said, "How will I know the dead have come back to life?" He said, "This fish that I'll give you now, you'll buy from here, from this shop, and take with you. Wherever this fish comes back to life, that's where the Valley of Love begins." And in the story they say that Mr. Moses reached a place and forgot the fish had come to life. But this is a metaphor. He forgot. They went a few steps, and then he turned to Aaron, his relative, his friend, someone else. He said, "Didn't this Sufi show up? He should have come by now." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "But there was a sign." He said, "Yes." He said, "Did this fish come to life?" He said, "Yeah, the night before last, when we were coming down the road, I saw the fish had come to life. Here again, it points to Moses' sleep, meaning he was asleep, he didn't get the point, and then he returns, which leads to the story of Kedar and that valley of love, and him killing the child and Zoroaster killing Isaac and killing Ishmael, and all this killing spree is in the valley of love. But in the valley of Gnosis, it opens the subject up even further. Okay, here in this valley, another very deep point is revealed, the recognition of God in the valley of Gnosis. We explained it the other day as well. There's a story on a certain night. I want to, right now in this valley of Gnosis, for you to know, I have to explain the Xbox, meaning I have to explain the game that the perfect human has created. Why? Because in the valley of Gnosis, we understood that there's a game for every soul, and this level is specific to them, meaning one person brings the player Ronaldo into their Xbox or PlayStation soccer team, another brings someone else. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is the game they are playing to understand a certain point. The beginning of the valley of Gnosis is the recognition of God, meaning the perfect human. Again, it's very important. It doesn't say God, it should say the perfect human. We've mixed it up, my beauty. God has no mass. All religions have said this. God has no mass. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, meaning God is only, the perfect human is the light of the heavens and the earth. Now, in this valley, I want to open these things up and see that in the valley of Gnosis, everything that has been created in the world, the perfect human created, not God. It has nothing to do with God. Why? Because God cannot have mass at all. He cannot be material. God is hue. It has nothing to do with mass. This itself is an important point. But light has mass. Go into science. Call Einstein right now. Call him and say, "My dear, does this light have mass?" He'll say, "Yes, sir." Something that has mass cannot be created by God. God simply cannot create mass because God is not a creator of mass. He gave the creation of mass to someone else. In the valley of Gnosis, you must recognize the perfect human. You must see what this perfect human is. Okay? If you are 190 is also within you. I'll give a simple example. I want to tell a story from a certain night. Let me remember so that I tell it. Anofel. No, let me remember to say it. Because it's very important that this... Sir, suppose you are 100. Where is 90? You say, "It's inside me, man." Where is 49? Inside me, man. Bravo! Excellent. Where is the square root of 2? Sir, where is the irrational number? Yes, it's in my 0. Yes, I'm very... 0 is mine, 1 is mine, 2 is mine. I'm 100 after all, so this is mine too. Where is 3.14, the number pi? It's inside you. It's inside me, sir, pure. The number pi is infinite. Let it be, it's inside me. Infinity, sir? Yes, inside me. 1 divided by 0? Inside me. 10 to the power of 100, Google? Google means 10 to the power of 100. Now 10 to the power of negative 100? Inside me, sir. A Sunni would say, can 10 to the power of 100 be inside you? And 10 to the power of negative 100 also be inside you? Yes, because 10 to the power of negative 100 means 1 divided by 10 to the power of 100, meaning it's between 0 and 1. We're fans of the mathematicians so that our friends who are godless can understand the topic. When you are from 0 to 100, everything is inside you. For example, I gave the example of 100. 10 to the power of 100, everything is inside you. You are the number line. The higher you go, the negative doesn't stop it. What does the perfect human mean? What is 10 to the power of negative 100? 10 to the power of negative 10 billion. 10 to the power of negative 10 billion is 1 divided by 10 to the power of 10 billion. It's between 0 and 1. If he lies, it's not negative. Who is the liar anyway? All humans before the valley of the quest must not lie. The moment you step into the valley of the quest, meaning the first valley of mysticism, the first thing they teach you is to lie. Sir, do you know the perfect human? No. Sir, do you understand the path? No. Their leaders are the Sufis themselves. They've traversed so many valleys that you and I understand absolutely nothing. A Sufi. Rumi has traversed so many valleys that you and I understand nothing. We say to him, "Sir, you understand nothing?" He says, "All I know is that I know nothing." It's a lie. Then what do we say? How is it that we don't know? How don't we know? I know you have to grab one of them and not let go. Don't give up the quest. You have to grab their hem and not let go. He says, "That man I know he's lying." Why? Because it's the same in the Matrix. The oracle is a Sufi. She lies to him. Why? Because the valley is different. Everyone is different. Each person's closeness is according to their own state. Closeness to the perfect human has their own state. It's their own. How is it their own? Mr. Hosseini, can you give an example of what that means? So look, I'm a donkey. I'm heading towards the perfect human. You're a wolf, you're heading towards the perfect human. That one's a goat heading towards the perfect human. The perfect human never gives grass to a wolf. Then you, me, Hosseini, I'm a goat, then I'm going towards the perfect human, and the wolf is also going towards the perfect human. Then I look and they're giving the wolf lamb meat. Well, I get upset. I say, "Man, this one is committing murder himself. You yourself are a killer. You kill people. Why are you killing my meat and giving it to this wolf to eat?" And he says, "Man, this is where it's good. The paths to me are as numerous as the souls of humankind." Sir, a wolf on the path to the perfect human must become a wolf. He doesn't change the nature of the wolf. If he changes it, then you won't have basil to eat with your rice and kebab, you idiot. Basil's nature is basil. It must grow with pleasure as basil. For kebab, a sheep must be killed, put in bread, and eaten with pleasure. That's how it is. Because of this difference, when air enters the planet, an apple tree doesn't start giving pears. This is it. They call it the number of paths to, according to the air and water, according to the souls of humankind, according to the trees of the world. It's of the era. That's right. A pine tree has a certain shape. Every human's fingerprint is different. An apple tree has a different shape. A pear tree has a different shape. When it moves towards the perfect human and evolution, the perfect human provides the nutrients and all the things that it must have, the amount of vitamins and the amount of energy. Don't talk, lie, don't lie. You know, whatever he does is for that reason. If he attacks a flock and kills 500 sheep, he doesn't get upset. He says, "The nature of the wolf is this. Killing is not a problem." A knight eats, then everyone falls into doubt. Then suddenly Halaj comes and says, "I am the truth. It's me." They say, "Really, it's you?" Then Hafez says, "I will turn the universe upside down if..." Right now, Sufi means the people who are around the perfect human, they kill him. I will turn the universe upside down if it goes against my desire. I am not one to suffer humiliation from the turning of the spheres. Hafez says, the celestial sphere, man, who the hell is that? We are the ones turning the celestial sphere. The celestial sphere is a game that we are running. If the sphere wants to turn against my will, against my opinion, I will screw its father. What does Rumi say? Rumi says, "The wine in its ferment is a beggar for our ferment. The sphere in its turning is a beggar for our intellect." With this declaration, isn't the death penalty warranted? Shouldn't Rumi really be killed? The "I am the truth" of Halaj. I mean, that man wanted to make you understand. All of these people should really be killed. You should find all these Sufis and you should kill them. And by God, this gentleman who set up this post, he's right. Why? Because the latter is we and I-ness, right? He really considers himself a very important person, because when you enjoin the good and forbid the evil, when you perform the branches of the religion, you are meddling in the seat of the perfect human without God's permission. There's a situation where you kill your sister and they take you to prison. There's a situation where you go and kill Obama and it becomes an assassination. The subject is completely different. For you to go and interfere in the place of the perfect human, to interfere in God's place, to say, ma'am, pull your headscarf forward, I'll screw you. Pull your headscarf. You know what? A woman pulls her headscarf forward on a street in Tehran and 27,000 dolphins die in Italy. What questions? Man, what are we supposed to do with you? But what verdict should be issued for you? You, without the permission of the perfect human, say pull your headscarf forward or pull it back. It makes no difference. Pull it out or pull it forward. It makes no difference. Let me tell the story. He says in a certain night, I've said it many times because it's necessary and 90% of you haven't heard it. I'll say it in this program so you know that I want to sow this whole good deed, bad deed. Sow a good deed in the eyes of people, humanity before, meaning prayer, meaning fasting. A good deed is this, right? You enter Christianity, it says get a butcher, prayer and fasting, stick to Jesus, meaning good deeds. All those who are doing these good deeds are all hellbound, if there is a hell. A good deed is this. A person who drinks moonshine isn't doing a good deed. They have nothing to do with heaven and hell, because the one drinking moonshine already considers himself low. Malaria had become rampant in a city. This is important for us to know to explain the valley of Gnosis, then we'll get to the week. It says malaria had become rampant in a city and people were dying because of it. A mystic was passing by. Now imagine 50,000 people have died, 3,000 people have died, so many killed, many of whom they've labeled as martyrs. It makes no difference. The world is always the same. The Kullu Yawm in Ashura is always repeated. They died. A mystic was passing by and asked, what happened? They said, sir, there's a lot of malaria. Why is everyone dying? He said, my dear friend, buy crocodiles and throw them in this pond. They'll get better. Yeah. They said, man, this guy's a scientist. This is half keen. We have so many scientists, so many educated people. What are you talking about? They talk such nonsense. All these great people. This guy has memorized Bihar al-Anwar. This person sees him standing here. This one has memorized the entire gospel and Torah. This one himself knows 1,000 hadiths. Man, Haji so-and-so. Does he have any idea how many hadiths you know? You illiterate fool. You just pass by here and give us theories. 2 crocodiles will cure malaria. His meaning is this. Malaria is the foul disease that is within you. The egg of the Anopheles, that mosquito, the mosquito that he says sucks your essence. The mosquito is this very thing. Rumi says this Akhund is the mosquito. Who is it? A mosquito is sucking your blood. What is it? It injects a virus, injects disease, it drains your blood. By God, the mosquito is him. He said, yeah, sir, 4 crocodiles. Someone from over there said, sir, it's true that Sufis aren't written about as good people in history, but let's listen anyway. By God, we also in the book. The malaria went away. They called this old man, they arrested him. They said, here. He said, yes. They said, what was this? He said, did you get better yourselves? They said, yes, but you performed sorcery. On the charge of sorcery and magic, and later I want to talk about whether sorcery exists or magic exists or not. It's not very important. For the crime of sorcery, the old man who was 80-90 years old, they piled firewood on him in the middle of the city square, set him on fire, and he died. Later, a scientist, the Anopheles lays its eggs in the pond. It lays its eggs in the pond. Who eats these Anopheles eggs? The little fish eat them. Who eats the little fish? The big fish eat them. Who eats the big fish? The catfish eat them. Who eats the catfish? The alligator eats them. The crocodile eats them. Why did the number of Anopheles increase? Why did the disease increase? Because too many Anopheles eggs remained on the pond, their number was high. Why was it high? Because the number of small fish had decreased. If there were many, they would have eaten them. The number of small fish decreased, so more of these eggs remained. Why did the small fish decrease? Because the number of catfish increased. They kept eating the small fish. Why did the number of catfish increase? Because the number of crocodiles which eat the catfish had decreased. their number comes down. Then I tell you, when the number of catfish came down, the number of small fish increases. When the number of small fish goes up, they eat the Anopheles eggs. The Anopheles no longer has eggs for you to get sick from and die. He takes 7,000 little kids, starts a thump session, spreads something in their brains, then comes and posts on our Facebook page. He doesn't understand what the perfect human is at all. He doesn't understand what the restart program is at all. He doesn't get anything. He thumps his chest and his butt, this poor chest whose cells are from 27,000 years ago, from 55 million years ago. It's not clear which animal's cells they are. It's with you. Why the misery? What's he going to do sitting up there? Anything from these tasks important is deceitful. He hasn't given me a place, for example, I say, or the Akhund, Rabbi, priest to write. From this side, now it's deceitful. He doesn't have an angel on his right. From this side, he has an angel on his left, and its mom has also come to help, just writing down the negatives, and then he tells the girl, pull your headscarf forward. Suddenly a wave comes and kills the Indians, and they say, sir, what does this have to do with anything? He says, the story of Hosseini. Enjoining the good and forbidding the evil is only through the path of Sufism. Only the perfect human can command what crap to do and what crap not to do. Your uric acid has gone up, your black bile has gone up. It's true that all doctors say you need an ampicillin shot because you have a cold, but because your black bile has gone up, they give you ampicillin, your eye pops out, you go blind. Why? Because all the imams are trying to be doctors for us. They all talk nonsense for us. The perfect human, this physician, checks you, checks your spirit. He says, do you even check? They say to Ayas, we have come to repent at your hands. He says, what were you doing? He says, theft. He says, continue on your way. Do not speak of the secrets of love and ecstasy with the claimant. Don't spread restart. Let him die in the pain of his self-worship. That's why it wasn't broadcast for 700 years. One problem? What problem? Me, you. If the gentleman gets upset or the priest gets upset, it's me, you. I'm a cow just like you, no difference at all. By God, we are all cows. My accent, him too. We also read mystics day and night and only understand when we're killed. Well, we interfere. What did you and I do? We went thumping. What does he do in the morning? Ma'am, bring it. Come on with your headscarf. Let me see your lipstick, ma'am. Then he spreads filth. He corrupts the energies of the universe. He fasts without the permission of the perfect human. The foul smell of his mouth spreads in the world. Energy transforms from one state to another. It is not destroyed. This filth that came out of the mouth during those few hours of fasting, this bowing and prostrating you did in prayer, you created a wave of toilets, a wave of filth and sludge. This doesn't exit anymore. It transforms from one state to another. That, the wine in its ferment is a beggar for our ferment. The sphere in its turning is a beggar for our intellect. We, us, its Jehun River, we by a glance turn the dust of the road into alchemy. And Rumi and Shams Tabrizi are not the perfect human. They themselves are in love with another being, and many other topics I wanted to explain. Okay, so the number line is him, Google is him, everything is him, everything is him. This is the whole thing. So why do dolphins come, and by God they come and commit suicide for our mistakes? Nothing can be done without the permission of that beautiful one. Other examples can be given. There's a lady on the street, her car is broken down. Let me say this and finish, because the valley of Gnosis then, her car is broken, and you, two very respectable young men, are very happy. A priest has gotten out of his car, and the priest with his clerical robe and turban has gotten out, pushing the lady's car, helping her. Now what is the lady's goal? Her goal, he helps her, she leaves, and that beautiful one kills those two. Meaning this God helped her by making her car break down so she wouldn't commit murder. You helped her, and then she goes home and crashes. Yeah, there was a woman, an 80-year-old woman, her goal. You didn't know she wanted to arrive and pour poison in that food. Time, what should we do with you? Well, yeah, where do we understand? Gnosis means this. The valley of Gnosis means that after the valley of love, the killing spree, you arrive at the valley that becomes mysticism, becomes recognition, becomes knowledge. Then slowly you understand that, oh my God, when you look at the old woman, you realize she is a murderer, and you don't help her anymore. You slash her right tire too. You take the priest and impale him with a skewer through his butt. You puncture the priest too, meaning you do this very thing which is against the opinion of humanity. Her car is broken, it has a flat tire. You help her with the flat. You help her, the car starts moving 13 minutes earlier. A truck 13 minutes ago, in a state of probable accidents, as you'd say probabilities, is passing by, hits her and kills her. They were supposed to live, for example. They say their leg would become paralyzed. Why did her leg get paralyzed? Because you, dear sir, helped fix the lady's flat tire. Help a good deed, you must have gnosis of that deed. So who can do a good deed? Someone who has gnosis of the entire universe, and many other things. We are thankful that you listened to this program on the Valley of Gnosis. Until next week, we will be at your service, and another layer of this valley will be opened for you. God willing, I leave you to the dear, beautiful, perfect human, and to the Sufis around that beautiful one, Sufis who, although they lie and say we know nothing, they all know everything, but have reached the Socratic level of saying we know that we know nothing. This is a high station in mysticism. Farewell.